TriMet management, starting with Fred Hansen, got me onto the CAT committee.
Yeah.
They thought that would shut me up. When that didn't work, they actually put me on contract. I was on contract.
Oh, you were actually an employee at one time?
Well, I was a contractor.
Okay. You're a subcontractor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Disability awareness.
Oh, really? So you actually got paid? You had TriMet checks?
Yes.
Oh, my heavens.
Michael Ford managed my contract.
I see. That's interesting. See, I didn't know.
And I went on a 90-day contract with 2 90-day possible extensions. We agreed to do the second 90-day, and it was turns out it was very mutual. I didn't realize, well, I kind of guessed it was, but I went to Michael and said I wasn't interested in the third 90-day.
Oh, really?
And Michael said, well, good, because I'm not sure we were going to give it to you anyway.
I see.
Because, again, they couldn't shut me up even
on the payroll, that didn't work, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they were thinking. We'll put them on the payroll and...
And then again, I don't have anything in writing, but the CAT committee's current bylaws were changed by Fred Hansen to stop me from becoming CAT chair.
What do you mean? What do you mean? How could they do that? How could they do that? Did they have your name in there or something?
Well, back in the day, Jan Campbell was CAT chair. I was vice chair, and Jan was terming off, where she had to take a year's absence, and I know I had the vote. Mm-hmm. And Jan and I were boyfriend-girlfriend at the time, and we were laughing and giggling for 6 or 9 months trying to figure out what TriMet was going to do to stop me from becoming CAT chair.
Really? That's funny.
And Fred Hansen came to the executive committee with the proposal of retroactively taking away the mandatory you have to drop off for a year after 3 terms. Well, Jan being my girlfriend, that would keep her on CAT, which I know she wanted to stay on, and I knew she would stay on as CAT chair if she stayed on, which I knew she wanted, so I wasn't even going to try to run against her. Mm-hmm. So you have a CAT committee now where people don't have to term off. Basically, they can be on there for life.
Really? I see.
So I've got a lot of history with TriMet trying to shut me up and stop me from having any power, so to speak.
Yeah. I don't know.
A little history, though, as far as I'm concerned. I really believe that TriMet for years has been trying to take away services from people with disabilities. They always blame it on finances, but yet they have finances for other things. But to me, what was the icing on the cake was when they built the $250 million, or not built, but revitalized for $250 million, the transit mall. And when Jan Campbell
I remember you having arguments about that one.
And when Jan Campbell and I were both, again, Jan was chair of CAT, I was vice chair of CAT, and Jan and I were the only 2 people representing the disability community on the Citizens Advisory Committee for the mall. And we were pointing out issues on the mall before the first shovel ever hit the dirt. And they kept telling us how they would fix it, Well, after the mall was about to open, we were still trying to fix some of the problems. There's still discrimination / non-compliance on the mall today. And what it proved to me, to become general manager of TriMet, you need to be the executive director of capital projects and build a mall that's not in compliance with the ADA, and then you can become general manager of TriMet.
Yeah. I knew there were issues with compliance of ADA with this new mall design in many ways, but I remember that argument, and that went
still out of compliance.
Yeah, obviously, actually, have the bus stop so far removed. Now you have to go.
That unfortunately is not.
What's the biggest issue down there to you at the mall right now?
Well, to me personally, it's because of being legally blind, it's the fact that the transit tracker, the audio has buttons to activate it, instead of being on all the time like it should, and the buttons wouldn't be near as much a major problem if they weren't 10 different locations, 10 different heights, and every time you walk into a shelter,
it's a different place.
It's in a different place. And you don't know from one shelter to the next where it's going to be.
Oh, that's crazy to me. Why would they design it like that?
So in reality, there is no audio transit track. How's a blind person going to find buttons in different places? Yeah. And they don't seem to understand that. I think it's over their mentality. So we're trying to ask them to turn it on. But also, I think probably even a more important issue is, everybody hears about door-to-door lift service. The minimum standard is actually curb to curb. Well, on the mall, they don't even have curb to curb service. There is not one TriMet lift paratransit stop on the actual malls. There are some around the corner. There are times I've heard stories from friends of mine where they've been dropped off 3 blocks from their destination.
What do you mean there's no they can't drop off there, the paratransit?
There is no place for a lift bus to stop on the mall. There are some right around the corner.
Really?
Some
they can't use a TriMet bus stop?
Nope.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nope. They used to before it was revitalized.
Yeah.
But nope. That was one of our biggest pet peeves, Jan and mine. We kept telling them before before the first shovel hit the dirt, we kept telling them, you guys don't have a place for the lift buses to park.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
And they kept telling us, we'll take care of it, we'll take care of it. Well,
they didn't.
They didn't.
That's actually a surprise. I was unaware of that.
There was a way for the lift buses to park on the mall before.
In the old mall.
The old mall was better.
It was more accessible obviously because of the buses stopping every 2 blocks.
More accessible for lift paratransit as well as fixed route.
Yeah. Of course, I used to drive the old mall. I thought it was a nightmare to drive. I'm surprised there weren't dozens of accidents.
It's funny you say that because we all thought there'd be more accidents on the new mall.
Yeah, I know. It's a big surprise that it actually functions as well as it does. I think most traffic avoids it, but I don't think there's as much traffic as...
I agree. And, the other thing, and I'm going to try to, it's impossible to do a head count because I didn't do one with the old mall, but seemingly, and I've talked to a couple other people, including Jan Campbell, who's been around here forever, it seems like there are less people with disabilities in the downtown area since the new mall opened.
Really? Now, you might be right about that. You actually might be right about that.
We can't prove it, but that we don't see as many.
Yeah. That's actually, you might be right now that I put my mind to that. And even when I'm down there, I very seldom see disabled people down there anymore.
We see a lot. I used to run into people that I knew all the time, blind people in their wheelchairs. I very seldom run into anybody downtown that I know anymore because there's just...
It's not accessible.
It truly isn't that accessible.
Yeah, so the people just don't go. I think you're actually right.
Huh?
The Type 4 Max car is being...
It truly is not.
It's not as
accessible as the Type 2 and 3. We were shown plans. None of us are plan readers. And actually, it was brought to us at the last minute, and I say we, that's back when I was still on CAT. And Fred Hansen and Steve Banta brought the plans to us at the CAT executive meeting because they didn't have time to wait for the full CAT meeting, and they showed it to us at the executive meeting, and we told them that we weren't experts at reading plans. It didn't look like it was going to work, and I'll never forget my comment to them because it turned out to be so true. As I told them, I bet you it's going to be worse than I'm even anticipating from looking at these plans, and they are worse than I ever imagined.
Yeah, they're bad for everybody.
And they still don't even have the proper minimum mandated signage on Type 4 cars that have been in service for what? 3.5 years now?
Yeah.
They still don't have all the mandated minimum signage.
Really? I know that the operators really hate them. The people that drive them, they hate them too.
Yeah, they're terrible.
And they don't have a leg room for people, nothing but...
Oh.
I hear nothing but complaints about it.